and I got to speak with Anthony from Opie and Anthony. And just like last time, Gabe, we're going to have you and Norma give me a rating on how this phone call goes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep checking on that story. I'll have my news crew. The news division of Compound Media is out pounding the pavement, trying to get answers to your questions. Oh, there. What? Brad, why don't you just put your hand in the register, Brad, and get my money? Well, you kind of ate most of it.
Hey, you already sound 100 times better than when you started the show.
Brad knows. Yeah, I'm waking up.
So I had a question about your book, if you don't mind.
Please. The old one or the one coming out?
The old one. I haven't gotten the new one coming out yet.
Well, that's because
but I've read through and I've listened to the audiobook of Permanently Suspended.
Yes.
And the one thing that I learned later in life that I wasn't aware of when I read your book was like how covert and vulnerable narcissism works. So you didn't really describe this in your book, but I was curious if at some point in your relationship with Opie, was there like a fulcrum point where you realized that you were the enabler and narcissistic supply to Opie?
Yeah, I did very early on. I hated myself for it many times. I felt ashamed of my lack of really pushing back.
Sure.
And believe me, if nothing was on the line, I would have been like, you are a fucking asshole. What are you doing? Dude, literally millions of dollars to just keep my mouth shut, smile, and nod my head when he said.
I was thinking about that because when I was watching the show yesterday with Gavin, you guys brought up a little bit about how sometimes you resent not speaking out or speaking up or confronting something, and you're generally a pretty non-confrontational person.
Yes.
And so I was like, you know what? That motherfucker never said anything about his book where he realized that, Opie's a f***ing narcissist and I'm supplying it and enabling it all the time.
Yeah. There were plenty of people before I came on board when Opie was doing his show out on Long Island that were the previous Anthony. There were a lot of people that were talented or had they were a one-trick pony for a little while. Whatever it was, Opie brought him on board because Opie was good at finding people that could be funny and entertaining for his show. That's kind of how he operated. So there were plenty of Anthonys before me, and they all walked. They all left. They all just were like, I can't take this guy. But the difference is they were getting maybe $20 an appearance on the show. It's easy to walk away from $20. I can be angry at myself for not speaking out and standing up for myself and standing up for the crew and criticizing or just keeping Opie in check on that narcissism that you're speaking about. But it wasn't as bad because I knew I was doing this for literally millions of dollars. Like when people go, there are questions people ask, like, would you suck a guy's dick for $1 million? And they're like, well, how many million? And you're like, 5, 10, 15 million bucks. And the guy goes, well, all right, yeah, I would, but dude, that's sucking a guy's dick. I just had to keep my mouth shut.
How many millions or how many guys?
I had to keep my mouth shut.
If you don't mind, I also had a question about your reaction to the Ukraine thing from yesterday. Is that all right?
Yeah. What do you got?
Well, it piggybacks off of you being somewhat non-confrontational. So Gavin goes on this sarcastic rant about Putin, Ukraine situation, everything, and then you made the Anthony uncomfortable face, and I didn't know if the Anthony uncomfortable face was sarcasm on your part or if you were just going to let Gavin do his thing.
You are a sharp person, boy. You do watch. Because immediately, sometimes, you just hear something and you forget the source. And I've talked about it so many times. Gavin is so good at what he does that sometimes people don't understand if he's being sarcastic or satirical.
Right.
And when he first started saying that, I looked over. Yeah. And you're right. I was thinking, are you out of your mind. And then very quickly, I did realize he was being sarcastic, incredibly sarcastic. And that was that. But boy, you caught that. Very good.
Well, I appreciate you taking it. I'll punch out. Thank you so much, Anthony.
All good, man.
I love the show. Love everything you've ever done. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Really? Brad? When he looks at Brad's name tag in Fast Times. So why don't you just take your hand and put it in the register, Brad. He's got to look at it.
When's he going to be on the show?
Oh, I know. I'm working on it. Right now, I just call. They don't really know who
Sounds
I am.
like a nice guy.
Oh, you would like him.
I probably would.
You would like him. Well, you know who Gavin McGinnis is, right?
No.
Gavin McGinnis is the founder of the Proud Boys.
Oh, I love him.
So Gavin McGinnis is far right. That was the show that was playing when you came in today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the show that I was on. Yeah. So
that was the show that you kept getting mad every time you had to pause.
Yeah, because you wouldn't shut up. Yeah, I was trying to listen to the rest of the show that I was just on.
I was trying to communicate.
All right. So scale of 1 to 10. I think, Gabe, you said last time it was a 7.5.
I don't understand this phone call.
You don't understand it.
You were just asking him a couple questions about his book. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be rating.
The quality of the call. The interaction between the two people.
I don't know, a 7.
What do you mean you don't understand the phone call? So based on the clip, I think I established that Anthony wrote a book, right?
Yeah.
And then he must have interacted with a guy named Opie at some point.
Sure.
And then
anyone who listened to his show, I'm assuming, would understand that.
Right.
So I don't think there was anything. I don't know. I've never heard these people before.
I know, but I understand that you've never heard of Opie and Anthony.
I haven't either, though, Gabe.
But what I'm saying is,
I don't know. You didn't ask questions that no one would not know the answer to.
No, I think he did. I think he asked questions that...
I asked him a question that he didn't address in his book.
Yes, he asked him one that he didn't address in his book. Then he asked him a question about Anthony's reaction and whether it was a true, real reaction or whether he was trying to personify a reaction at that point, which Anthony was very impressed that he even caught. You suck, Gabe. I give it a 10.
Yeah, I know.
Gabe is so long. Now, Gabe, I'm not trying to kick you right now, but I don't understand what you're so confused about. I'm asking you to rate the okay, that was 5 minutes of radio. Okay. I understand you don't know who Opie is. B, I understand you don't know who Anthony is. Okay. But based on the content of the phone call, we know that Opie is a covert narcissist. Anthony used to work with Opie. Anthony said that he used to work with Opie and made millions of dollars with him. Then he told you a story about his interactions with Opie. And then I asked him about his current co-host who went on a Vladimir Putin rant yesterday. And I asked him if he was being sarcastic when he was very clearly uncomfortable with the answer. Did you get any?
Why would I negatively rate that then?
I didn't say to negatively rate it.
Why would you need a rating if you already knew it went well?
Because it's a f***ing bit.
I don't understand this bit, Brad.
He's just asking for our input.
Was it better or worse than last
good.
time?
It was fine.
Wow. That's kind of like asking your dad how, I just spent thousands of dollars on new sound equipment. Yeah. How do I sound?
Okay.
About the same.
Yes, Gabe. Now, to be clear, I do understand that it is kind of silly for me to listen to myself on another radio show and then ask you to rate it. That is the bit. That you are working very hard to stonewall every time I try to move forward with it.
The first call-in you did, you went on a rant about what they were going on against.
Okay.
I don't know that one.
Comparable.
I went
out. Two very different phone calls.
They were two very different phone calls. Absolutely. This time, I wanted to dig into Anthony's relationship with Opie.
I
think you just wanted to dig into Anthony.
Yes!
I meant that in a sexual way.
I know.
But... Gabe, have you been hanging out with Timmy?
Dude, seriously. I think that he got into his landlords of marijuana. This guy. What the hell? hell?
Did you skip dinner tonight, Gabe?
Yeah, Gabe. Are you?
I did actually.
He did.
No,
He skipped dinner.